Okay, welcome. This is Suitcase Divas, episode 3, and we're going to be talking about cruising today. My name is Denise Diobaldi with Redbirds Travel.
And I'm Cheryl Garcia with ABCD Adventures.
So okay, let's talk about something freaking amazing. We, as travel agents, were just offered a free cruise from MSC. A free 7-day cruise. It could have been up to 11 days, correct?
Right, yes.
Okay. But what did we choose, Cheryl?
We chose the 7-day... Honestly, I don't know where we're going. I know we're porting out. I get to go to New York City, which I've never been.
So we're leaving in
Christmas,
December,
yeah.
early December. So it's going to be all beautiful, decorated.
So I actually don't know what our... Oh, wait. Oh, we did talk about our ports. We are going to... I don't know the names of them. This is horrible. The marina.
That's it. So we're going to the short of it is we're going to the Bahamas. We're going down to Nassau. They have their own private island. We will be making a stop at the Orlando port, which I heard has actually got some pretty groovy stuff. Like
I don't know much about it because I ported out of there on our last cruise.
Same. But then you don't hang out at the port.
Right, you're going straight
ready to get on your trip.
To check in. So it'll be interesting to have a day where Orlando is part of your, well, it wouldn't really be Orlando. It's more,
and then
what's that?
Cape Canaveral?
Yeah. That's where we are.
Yeah, so, okay, but all we had to do is pay port fees and taxes, which ends up being $149 a person. Yep. So $300.
For a balcony room.
For a deluxe balcony room.
Yes.
So, is that not friggin' sweet?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Plus, I've never been on this cruise line.
Nor have I. I'm excited to check it out. And this ship is huge. It's 19 decks.
That was crazy. I think the biggest one I've been on might have been 14, but the 14th deck is usually the basketball or, there's nothing. I didn't really go up there often.
And supposedly, this has a really cool rooftop pool and hot tub where they can actually close the glass if the weather, for inclement weather,
nice.
Or because I do think they go up to over to Alaska, over, it's also a transcontinental ship, so I'm sure they do incur some, nasty weather at times.
Or just colder, because the other option we had instead of the Bahamas was we could have gone to Canada and some areas up there. But you and I are both like, it's December, we're going tropical.
Yes, honey. Always, yeah.
So that's exciting. So that kind of got us on this episode, Cruising 101, Part 1. We're going to start off with different types of cruises. There are different types that you can take that some people don't think about when they're looking at cruises.
Right. So, for example... Let's talk about adult-only cruises. There's really not many.
Right.
So, Virgin Voyages is one of the only adults-only cruises. Mm-hmm. And it just came out in 2021.
I didn't realize it was that new.
They're fairly new ship line. So, Viking Voyages river cruises also is 18 and older.
They're a very different vibe. Virgin Voyagers seems more of a party club atmosphere. Viking does not have that atmosphere. They are, and it even says that on their website. Here is what we're not, and it says, I believe, I'm paraphrasing, but that it was not a party cruise. Now they have fun, I'm sure, but it's more of it's a smaller ship.
Yes,
they have a smaller ships in their cruise line, and it's that one is 18 and up. I think Virgin Voyage is only 21 and up, though. Is that correct?
I want to say that's 18 and up too.
Oh, okay.
But Richard Branson is the one that came up with this, and the first ship, Scarlet Lady, began service in October of 2021. Now, they do have their second ship, Valiant Lady. It just conducted its maiden voyage on March 18th of 22, and they actually have 2 more ships that they're cranking out, Resilient Lady and Brilliant Lady, and they're expected to debut in 2023. So they have grown exponentially just in a few years, because guess what? People like adults-only cruising.
Yes.
Right? So they all poured out of Miami currently.
Okay.
And no kids allowed. The other cool thing is almost everything is included. It has Wi-Fi is included. Your gratuities are already included. You don't have to pay anything extra for those. You have all the soda, coffee, tea, all of that. Now,
Oh, that's
alcohol is different, and they call that a loot package.
Okay.
And it's not how many drinks per day. That one is you get like you can buy in increments of $300. So, and oftentimes they'll give you $300.
Oh, so like a bar tab. You're buying a bar tab.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you met some new people on board and you want to buy them a drink, you can just pay it out of your tab. It doesn't actually have to be like one per or eight per day. You know what I'm saying?
Or you can only get it for yourself when you go up and it's one per person. You can actually, I want to buy a round. So that's actually really nice to have a bar tab versus a per drink swipe or whatever.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah. The other very cool thing is you can get a tattoo on board.
Really? I want a tattoo so bad.
So you can it has a tattoo parlor, and it's called Squid Ink. It's vegan ink. And they also offer piercing and permanent makeup applications.
Nice.
Is that not fabulous?
Although I wouldn't want to I don't know how I'd feel about getting a tattoo on a cruise, because don't you have to keep it out of water? And I haven't had a tattoo.
No, you do cover it up, and you're not supposed to
get it in the sun and wet, correct?
Yeah, maybe you're putting it someplace where the sun don't shine.
Well, that's true. Because I'm planning my tattoo for the winter so that it can be healed by spring and summer, where I don't have to worry about that. That was just a little bit of research I've done.
No, I see what you're saying. But so maybe you get it the last day.
Oh,
before when you're exiting.
That's actually a great souvenir. If you're gonna do a souvenir, that would be a good one.
Freaking fabulous. So the other cool thing is they don't have buffets here.
Oh.
There's no dining times. There's no buffets. It's all made to order. There's no assigned dining times or seating or anything. And they've got over 20 dining venues, Korean barbecue, Mediterranean, small plates, bento boxes, pasta, pizza, of course. They've got it's called the galley. And it does have, like a sandwich station and things like that.
Right. So they're more of a sit down with a menu, or you go up to like a window?
Well, I bet it's something like a kiosk. They have like the little kiosks. When I just went on the Norwegian Epic, you kind of you go up and you pick your seat, and they've got like a little tablet, and then you just scroll through, and there's like 8 or 10 different restaurants there, and you can pick whatever you want, and the different wait staff will just bring you.
So that was one of the favorite things when I was on Princess. I could order from my phone. I had nachos delivered to us in the hot tub.
That's pretty freaking sweet.
It was. I had any drink I want, because on Princess you've got your medallion, so they track you by that, and you just wear it. So
this wine is delicious.
I told you. Yes, I told you that was really good.
Tasty. Cheers to our cruise.
I know. So obviously we need to go on Virgin.
Yes, that is on my bucket list.
Okay.
And yes, we for sure are going on Virgin.
So maybe Suitcase Divas can host a group
cruise. Yes.
All right, so we'll get into that one in a little bit about themed and group cruises. But
yeah, so then the other cool thing about Virgin is they give you longer times in port. And so, if you usually arrive around like 7 a.m. or whatever, or that's when they'll let you start exiting the ship, typically on your typical cruise ship.
Right.
And then you have to be back by like 2 or 3, because then they're jetting off to the next port. And so here, I think you're allowed to be out at 8 or 9. And some of them you can even stay over, like in Nassau. You don't have to come back to the ship. They'll stay overnight.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty sweet, right?
Yeah.
It's like a elevated level of, here, we're at this port, enjoy. Like, you don't have to rush back.
Yeah, that is nice. Because sometimes you get into a port later in the it's not always first thing in the morning. And then, so if you're there later in the evening or late afternoon and it's in their off season or something, you don't have as much time to explore. Because that was one of the things when I was looking at Alaska cruises, they'll get into, one of the ports in Canada, and you're there in the evening, so it's not always open.
Right.
So it's kind of like, oh, that's a bummer port. So it's nice if you want to explore the nightlife of a port.
Absolutely.
That Virgin Voyages does that.
Yeah, and who wouldn't want to have the nightlife in the Bahamas and Nassau, things like that? Another cool little fact is that they built their own private, they have their own private island, and it's the Beach Club at Bimini, and it has music and lounge chairs, hammocks, day beds, all of that stuff when you get on the island. They also have rock star suites, which, I mean, these things are gorgeous. I don't know if you've seen them online, but they're typically all purple and plush.
Oh,
and they,
right up your alley with the purple.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have outdoor hot tubs and terraces and electric guitars and stuff that they decorate them. So we got to get on the rock star suite.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and then the other cool thing is, it says that some cruises have, key cards, or like you had the medallion.
Yes.
So they have the band. And so this is a wristband made out of recyclable ocean plastic.
Oh,
so they're
nice.
very green. They're very green. It doesn't just serve as your room key. It also allows you to do onboard purchases, just like, you would with a medallion or something like that.
Right.
But I do like that they're very green. In fact, they have these really cool red hammocks on all of the balcony, and I believe that they're hand-sourced with a company in Honduras, and they're also made of like all their materials over there, and everything's very, very eco-friendly, and I love that about Virgin Voyage.
Okay, so we're totally going to have to check out a Suitcase Divas Virgin Voyage trips for all of our adult listeners.
I want to be there. Let's go there.
Right, absolutely. So one of the other things we wanted to highlight about adult-oriented cruising was even if you're on a cruise ship cruise that does not it's not just adult only.
Right.
They do have specific adult only areas and specific decks that are just for adult only.
Absolutely.
So, what are some of the ones that you've experienced, Denise?
So, so I've been on Carnival. They have Serenity decks, and that they have their own lounges. They've got their own bar. They have their own pool, obviously, hot tub, stuff like that. But even if you're not, even like Princess has Sanctuary, MSC has Solarium,
which we're totally going to be checking out in December.
We surely will. Disney Cruise Lines has Satellite Sun Deck. I've never been on a Disney cruise just because, like, I have to sell my kidney to pay for that.
Well, I haven't either, but I haven't had and because my kids are older. I mean, they're all adults now, so.
But they were young at one point.
We went to Disney. If we were gonna do it, it was just timing, I guess. I never even looked at the Disney cruises. I like to know more about them, but I like Disney. I'm not the one that goes every year, every chance they get. Although, as a travel agent, we do get crazy perks for Disney, so I definitely will be taking advantage of those. Mm-hmm. But I know a lot of people that love the Disney Cruise Line, so I don't know much about it, though.
Yeah, we'll have to research more about that because, yes, they
and
Disney
both our kids
are
both of us have older kids, so it's not something they've ever been asking for right now.
Exactly. But yeah, so even the most kid-friendly cruises absolutely have decks or private areas that are allotted for adults only.
Right.
So that's pretty cool, and that's where you'll typically find me these days.
Yes. And that kind of segues into family-oriented cruises because we're going to talk about how most cruise lines have like kids clubs and stuff. So if you are traveling with your kids, they do have kids clubs where you can take your kids, and then they'll
and you just drop them off,
and they'll have activities, and then you can go and enjoy the adult only deck areas. So
absolutely.
You have the options for that. It's not just where you have to, and we love our kids, so it sounds like we're trying
No, of course we love our kids.
But we also, and as a mom, when we go on vacation, it's so different.
Exactly.
It's not always a vacation.
No.
We're the ones organizing everything, so that's one of the perks I think about when you're traveling with your kids is taking them on cruises. One, they're all there. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to explore. It's a ship. They can only go so far. And then when you check them into these cruises, these kids clubs, they are watching your kids. They keep track of your kids.
Right. And when we go on vacation, what do we want to do, Cheryl? We want to lay by the pool.
Yes.
We want to sip our little bevy.
Yeah.
And we don't want these little ankle biters like ruining
We
our
also
good time.
don't want
and they
mom
don't want to
guilt.
sit there. Yeah,
right.
They don't want to sit there and lay in the sun and watch us read a magazine.
Which is where the mom guilt comes in, because I think I know for me, mom guilt's a huge thing. So when I travel with my kids, it's oriented, when they were younger, it was oriented around them
and what they want to do.
And by the end of the vacation,
it's not a vacation.
We're just wore out. So the anytime I did something, or my husband and I would do something, I would always feel guilty. The good thing about a cruise is you don't have to have that mom guilt, because your kids are being entertained.
They're having a great time. They're doing art.
And this is for all ages, too.
Yes, they break them out. They typically break it out to so for example, I'll do Princess. They have Camp Discovery, and they have like tree houses. That's ages 3 to 7. Then they do the lodge for ages 8 to 12. Then the beach house for ages 13 to 17, and they all have different activities. Like the teenagers, they're gonna have more like your gaming, right, and your dance club and things of that nature.
Which they do have teen clubs. I thought that was amazing, which I think is 17 and under. I think it was like 13 to 17, or on the last carnival one I went on, I think it was 13 to 17 or 14 to 17 that could get into the kids club. And obviously I didn't go in there, but as we were walking by, it was fairly close to the nightclub that we were going to. So if I had a teenager who, we were traveling with all 18-year-olds, we took our kids for their senior trip. So they went with us. But if they were, 16, 17, they were very close to us. And it had a great atmosphere. There were so many kids hanging out. And there's so many crew around that it's keeping the kids in check. It's keeping them from doing wild and crazy things. So it was just a night. I was very impressed with the kids, or the teen club.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think that is an amazing draw for a cruise, because it's a little bit of something for everybody, right?
Right.
They have so many different, like they've got the kids clubs, then they've got, the ropes courses and the laser tag and the water slides and
some
the wave
even
runners.
have an escape room. I haven't been on one. I absolutely love escape rooms, and there was one of the cruise lines we were looking at had an escape room on the ship, and I would absolutely have done that probably a couple of times, even if they only had the one theme, so there's so many things for them to do.
Right.
I will say, if you have an infant, you can only travel on a cruise when they're a certain age, and each cruise line is different, so double check with them. And if your child is not potty trained, almost every cruise line that I've looked into, they do not let your child in the pools with swim diapers. Your children need to be potty trained in order to be in the pools and hot tubs. And while that can be frustrating, I was about to say it can be frustrating, but
who wants to swim with duty?
We all have had kids, or not all of us, but listening, but the two of us have had kids in diapers, so we know even those swim diapers leak. So it's for the benefit of everyone else, but it can be, kind of limiting for someone traveling with a child and that's not potty trained. So just keep that in mind.
And that's yet another reason to use a travel agent, because when you say, I want to go on this cruise, or I want to go to this area, these are how old my children are, that's when we as agents would do the due diligence to figure out, okay, right, what cruise line can you go on with a 1-year-old?
Right.
And, you don't have to get on board and then be like, guess what? Little Joey can't go in the pool.
Yeah.
Because we've done that research for you.
Right, absolutely. And there are cruise lines that have like splash pads and stuff like that. So, and there are tips and tricks about ways to let your kid play in water while everyone else, so that they're not disappointed. So we can absolutely help with that. So yeah, that's a good point. So one thing before we move on to theme cruises, which I'm absolutely in love with, is perks for kids. Just real quick, I had in my notes, which, my notes are way sketchier than your notes. They're like chicken scratch. But Royal Caribbean sometimes has kids sail free.
Absolutely. And okay, so there are blackout dates typically around like spring break
Right.
and
Yeah.
like Christmas, Thanksgiving, all the typical times you'd want to take a trip and have off from school. But
We always took our kids out of school. Did you do that?
no, we didn't.
Oh.
But we weren't getting. So Grandpa Knight, he was the patriarch of the family, and he would pay for all of us to go on these trips. So my kids were going on cruises to Bermuda, 10 days to the Caribbean on Princess cruises.
Yeah.
And
So nice.
what I will say is I relate to your being exhausted. So I had a 4-year-old. No, I had a 6-year-old and a not even one.
Oh.
So, that they're all having a great time, but dinner didn't even start until 9 p.m. Well, my children are young, literally sleeping at the table.
Right.
So I'm just following them around. I didn't put them, I was too afraid to put them in the kids club. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Like,
well, when you
2020.
it's being, new mom, that kind of thing.
My mother-in-law used to call me helicopter mom.
There's nothing wrong with
There's
that.
no shame in that. I was a helicopter mom.
So I think the biggest thing is you have to make sure you're comfortable with the kids clubs, and the ones that I have looked at and seen, the parents have gone up and talked to those running them, and it's just like with any daycare. Or did you ever leave your kids in the IKEA daycare?
No.
Oh my gosh, Alexis would ask me randomly, hey, can we go to the IKEA playground? It wasn't a playground, but IKEA used to have where they had a gorgeous little place for the kids to play, and you could drop your kids off while you shopped at IKEA.
Yeah, no, I never left my children.
And you know how Alexis was very clingy? She would ask to go to the IKEA playground, and I'd be like, all right, because I love IKEA. So.
Was there anybody manning it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's ran just as if you were like a Y daycare is what it looked like.
Now that you're saying that, I think when Reese was a little older, I did a couple times, because didn't we meet up as mom clubs?
Oh yeah.
And then we would drop our kids off.
I thought so, because I think that's because I know Alexis went with Ainsley.
I've only done it like once or twice in their lives, though.
I didn't do it often. I do remember, and this is totally off topic. I'm so embarrassed to say this. Brienne was not. She was maybe 1.5. She was still in diapers. Oh yeah, because we went to the Harrah's in Cherokee. And I put her in the
casino daycare.
Yes. First time I'd ever been to a casino was my dad and my husband and I, and we put her in the casino. I was like, okay, I've never been. I'm going to go spend an hour or two, and then I'll come back and get her, take her for a nap, whatever. They paged me because there's no clocks. There's no natural light. It was hours later. I didn't know how much time had passed because anyway, this is so I get.
Come get your child.
Yes. So I totally get being nervous about leaving your kids. Just do your due diligence, and that's where we as travel agents can help too. We can kind of give you some info, but also when you get on board, just check it out, see how comfortable you are.
Yeah, for sure, it's a great asset.
I recommend you use it because
and it's free. You're not paying any additional fee. It's all included in the price of the cruise.
Correct. Now, wait, I do want to say
unless they're like young.
Right, if they're...
Or if it's after hours.
Yes, they do have after-hour care that you can pay for, so if you want to go to the formal dinner or go have a fancy dinner...
Or go clubbing.
Right, they do have that, and I think they charge if your child is not potty trained.
Right,
yep. They'll have a babysitting fee. Okay, so that leads us into themed cruises, which I love themed anything. Just about anything I do is themed. My parties, my get-togethers... I loved themes. So, I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of cruise lines actually offer specifically themed cruises.
Yeah.
Some are the whole ship is the theme, and some are, just areas. They'll have, like, some of their conference rooms or whatever will be...
Like, what themes are we talking,
So, I'll go through a couple. The Broadway Cruise, which is on these are some for 2024, by the way. For the Broadway Cruise, which is on the Norwegian Pearl in March of 2024, They have performances, Broadway performances. You can talk to the performers. They'll have workshops, and then they'll have panels. So
Sweet.
It's completely Broadway themed.
Very Broadway themed.
They have sometimes they'll have this one's called the Meow Meow Cruise.
Oh, damn.
The entire thing is cat themed, and that's in January of 2024.
So all the furries?
No. So now I don't want to say no right off the bat because I personally haven't been on this cruise, but the description is for cat lovers. So I don't necessarily know if it's
so you don't dress up like a
some
cat?
may. It may have like levels of cat fans.
Okay.
They also have the Afro Cruise on the Norwegian Pearl in March, and they're a partnership with Afro Future, a global culture entertainment platform that's committed to showcasing African diverse culture through festivals, live performances, and community impact.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's an amazing cruise.
Right.
They also have the Star Trek cruise coming up in February 2024. Golden Girls Cruise. Now, this one's to Europe.
That would be fun. My friend Jamie would love that cruise.
Yeah, my sister-in-law. I don't know the inside joke, and bless her if she's listening to this, but many, many years ago, I don't remember when, someone made some kind of reference with her of Golden Girls, and now I think it's kind of like an inside joke with her inner circle, and because I live so far away, I just think every time I see Golden Girls, I think of her. So that cruise to Europe is in September 24. This is the one I want to go on.
Okay, ready. I'm ready.
The Hallmark Christmas Channel Cruise.
Oh, damn.
Yes, in November of 2024. You'll have photo ops with the Hallmark stars.
Okay.
They're going to air a brand new Hallmark Channel Christmas movie. They'll have a tree lighting. They'll have the panel. They'll have cookie decorating. It's just like Christmas overload. I get chills thinking about it because I love Christmas. They also have ones specifically for bridge players, knitting, scrapbooking, LGBTQ plus cruises.
I bet that would be really popular for sure.
Oh yeah. So here's one that I believe, I have to do a little bit more digging, but I think the entire ship would have to be this themed. It is the Big Nude Cruise.
Oh, well, I will not be attending that one.
So that is on the Carnival Pride, February.
But I don't judge. I wouldn't be walking around nude. In the food? In the restaurants?
I have no idea. I know there are nude cruises. This is just the one I found for 2024. There are your upside down pineapple cruises as well. I did not find any information on that. So
I heard that Virgin has a good bit of
upside
swingers.
Down pineapple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, but it's not like a free for all. Like if we go on there, we're not gonna get molested or anything. Like you have to you have to
wear your upside down pineapple pin
or put it on your door or something
to differentiate between you and the.
But you can tell if you're on a cruise where they've got like some people, it's quite evident.
There are swinger club cruises. There is so many different types of themes. There's lots of music themed, lots of TV show themed. Mm-hmm. They have like an 80s cruise that Debbie Gibson's going to be on. I can't remember which cruise line that was. I want to say Norwegian, but I'm not sure. Those are coming up in 2024.
And Jennifer Lopez is actually the godmother of one of the newest Virgin Voyages cruise.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So you might find J-Lo on board.
That would be nice. I do know, like, The Walking Dead used to do cruises. I don't know if they haven't since 2020, I don't think. New Kids on the Block had a whole 80s, 90s cruise that they went with because I totally wanted to go on that one.
NSYNC got together for their VMAs last night.
I did see that. And they're thinking that they're going to do a reunion tour.
Maybe they could show up on a cruise.
A lot of musicians and musical groups do show up on cruises. When I was doing some more digging, I was surprised by how many were actually. Let's see if I had another. I believe on the Summer of 99 cruise, which is in April of 2024, Three Doors Down, Creed, and all of that's going to be. Now, here's the thing. I didn't dig deep. So if you're interested in those cruises, we will do a little bit more digging. What I wanted to find out was for like this one, was it a cover band or is it Three Doors Down coming? That's what I want to confirm to make sure if I have a client that's interested in this Summer of 99 tour, I want to be able to tell them, hey,
just for clarification.
Correct.
Because, even if it wasn't the original band, they may still be very interested
right.
in that
but
cruise.
I don't want to
But you just wanna-
misrepresent.
right.
Correct. Yeah.
True that.
So, with the themed cruise, I am so we've got to go on a themed cruise. That kind of leads into making your cruise. If you want to go on a group or set up a group cruise, you can do a themed cruise for yourself, which sometimes can be like a wedding cruise, an anniversary, a birthday bachelorette. Any of those can be themed. The cruise lines will work with you and with your travel agent, if you have one, to create that atmosphere. If you're booking like a group, you get perks for how many staterooms you're booking. So if you get like, I think it depends on the cruise line, but let's just say you have 10
yeah, it's typically
staterooms.
8 to 10 rooms
Right.
is a group booking.
You can usually get like a cocktail hour, which can be themed and decorated. You'll have time to do that. So if you don't find your theme out there, you can absolutely set up your own theme
I will
cruise.
say wellness cruises are a big thing now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so like you do yoga in the morning and like sunrise yoga and things like that. And so I know Virgin Voyages does have a few of those themed, like wellness themed cruises.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So that's just some info on those types of cruises, which we're gonna, I guess, go into. We didn't set the timer.
I know.
I have no idea what time we're at.
This technically could be wrapping up our first segment of Cruising
101. Okay, should we do that?
Yeah, because it's better to be, like, wrap it up. And, I like it. I like to have it within a certain amount of time because people are busy, We want to
Right.
We want to be here to give you good tidbits, but we also know you have your own shit going on, so.
Well, and we can talk, and we tend to.
We get off topic a bit sometimes, but
So I think ending there with the 3 different types.
And.
We're out. Yeah, we need a refill.
Hey, it's a wine spritzer, so you know.
It's okay. So we talked about, what did we talk about?
Well, we just talked about adults only
3 different
cruises,
types.
yeah,
Three
and then
different
the
types.
different clubs of different kids clubs, the different types of decks. So even if you are on a kid-friendly cruise, you have the certain decks that you can go on that are adult only, and I think that's genius.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then we just, I know, just touch base on the themed cruises.
Like, we are so...
Yeah, I kid you not, I changed like 3 times now that we're trying to record video as well, because I was like, man, I really got to get dressed. You think...
Well, see, but you're dressed for summer. Like, today, it was
this is my fall. Like, I wear this with cute boots in the fall.
I would be freezing, though. It's sleeveless.
I always wear cardigans.
Okay.
I usually do, but I was burning
I busted out
today.
my short boots today.
I did. Your boots are really cute. Whereas I'm wearing my slippers.
But that's what's great about a podcast.
Yeah. Well, I know, but since we have been trying, we had people ask, hey, are you on YouTube? We're not there yet.
We're getting there.
But we are working on, like, recording video. We video the whole thing so we can pull out some cute snippets. And then maybe eventually, as we learn how to edit and do things, we'll end up on YouTube. But we both got dressed today, just to say.
I always get dressed, P.S.
I do not. I'm, like, in a t-shirts and leggings, but I did get dressed today, so.
Good for you,
I think we
sweetie.
look cute.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah, well, this wraps up our Cruising 101.
Part 1.
Part 1. We'll see you next time.